everybody. Oh, first of all, happy Thanksgiving. But I kind of liked both of the discussion questions, so I kind of answered both of them. But the first one, it was, did Mubarak support fundamentally delegitimized women's group in the eyes of Islamists and, more importantly, the anti-regime masses? I definitely believe he did. In a way, I believe that he needed to please everyone. So he had to please his people, but at the same time, he needed to please the Islamists and the anti-regime groups to try to get them to not try to take over power or take control. Also, he needed to keep both Islamists and the public at arm's length, pretty much, trying to, keep them in control. And he's using them against each other, and trying to maintain power. So he has the Islamists who are saying, well, we want this to happen. We want Sharia law fully enforced. And then you've got the people who want a little bit more rights. So there's that. And then he sees the Islamists. One of the books says that he sees the Islamists as the abyss. So, he kind of keeps people in control by saying, well, you could either have me or the abyss of Islamists. So that was a really interesting fact. And then the second question was, what are the pros and cons of stepping back and letting the opposition groups in Libya decide the future? Or what are the benefits for the U.S. to say we helped you and now you're going to have to deal with this by yourself? Some of the pros I came up with are that Muslims can't blame the West anymore for trying to take over. That seems to be quite a big argument for their side. Also, along with that, there will be less westernized policy, so it's not like you'll have Western people going in and saying, well, you need to do things this way and this way because that's how we do it. And then also they can come up with a non-Western solution and hopefully a non-Muslim solution on their own, for the people who aren't Muslims who live over there. Also, there could possibly be less fighting and less war in this area since you won't have the West, particularly on their soil. And then some of the cons that I came up with were that, I know this is kind of messed up a little bit, but they seem to be prone to animalistic behavior. So, it might bring more fighting over there with each other, or even more fighting, but it'll move the fighting to Western soil and we'll kind of be, in trouble with that. And also, they might just have trouble coming up with a non-Muslim solution, and it could definitely bring more suppression for non-Muslims. So that's my discussion. I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving.